What up, family? It's your favorite cousin, your bald-headed brethren, Cool Rich, back in this mug, and we're about to have a good conversation about something I mentioned in the last video. I wonder if you were paying attention. So at the beginning of the last video, I had said something about, wearing something that smells a little bit more green, when you're outdoors. I want something that hints towards that, something that performs in the outdoors, because you have to have it for the settings. You know that we already talked about this. It's always about the settings. You gotta have it for, let's say if you got the office, you gotta have your office fragrance. If you're outdoors, you gotta have your outdoor fragrance. If you got the white t-shirt, you gotta have your white t-shirt fragrance. If you're going to the club, you gotta have the club fragrance. See, it's all about settings, people. It's all about settings, demeanor, and how you carry yourself and how you plan to dress with that as well. If you notice, I got on a nice polo. Shout out to Ralph Lauren. This is nice teal. You know what I'm saying? The bald head and the smoothness in the beard. That's how you always want to be whenever you are out in public, because you are your first representation before you open your mouth. And usually how you smell is also a good representation of you as well. So let's get into some green fragrances that I feel would be the best things to at least start off your fragrance journey in that green section, right? So these are going to be my top 3 green fragrances in my collection. Let's dive into it. But before we actually get into those fragrances, let's make sure that we like, share, and subscribe to content, because we want to make sure that we get those housekeeping things in order. Remember, we are trying to go for that HBO special. I need the HBO special to help brother out special so we can get over those 500 subscribers. So remember, like, share, and subscribe. But let's dive into this content. So the first fragrance that we're actually going to dive into when it comes to these green fragrances is something I actually had talked about on a few fragrances back. It's a big one. Well, not so big, but it's big enough where it was, it had a big announcement. It came out in April of this year, and it made a huge impact as soon as it hit the market. I want to say that it definitely reinvigorated a different note that we really aren't accustomed to in the fragrance section. So this one is going to be Coach Green. Coach Green. Now, what do we get in Coach Green? Well, we get some kiwi, bergamot, rosemary, some geranium, cedar, and some moss. It's a good balance. Like you really think that for the price, because Coach is very affordable, right? That it's not going to be as I just gave in the notes. That you probably are not going to smell. It's going to smell more synthetic. Let me put it in that context, because you anticipate that because it's a designer fragrance that is going to smell a little bit more like the synthetic stuff. No, you will be wrong. This is very, very fresh. When I mean fresh, my bad for the pause. Like, it just smells so good because that kiwi opening is so different. Like, you can have so many different type of green colognes, but it's rare that you're going to find one that has kiwi. Kiwi is such a sweet fragrance, but at the same time, with the combination that it has in there with the rosemary and the cedar and the moss and everything, it definitely gives it that woody scent. That, man, the freshness in this is crazy. This is this is a great fragrance. You would be well served to go ahead and purchase this at your local department store. So if you're out, let's say, and I'll give you some examples of times that you can wear this. Let's say if you're taking a stroll, if you're downtown, most downtowns have some type of scenic view or some type of riverfront, something like that. It's usually some type of water access to the downtown area, right? On a general scale, I'm not saying all, I'm just saying on a general scale. Generally, you'll have that access. Now, if you do, this will work perfect for that. Like if you're walking along the Riverwalk, you end up getting something to eat. You all are just having that good conversation. You're getting to know each other. Or let's say if you are already in a relationship, or you're just out there, having a good time. And this, you want to smell something that's different yet fresh, not overbearing because of the heat, but at the same time, it still is going to project and do its job. This does a great job. So again, Coach Green for men. This mug is fire. I definitely recommend it. And you know what we're gonna do? Should I do it? Let's do the no. We're not gonna do the tier factor. I was thinking about doing the tier factor, but we're not gonna do it. This isn't for that type of time. But like I said, Coach Green is definitely something that you will be well served in purchasing, because I feel like you would actually use it for the best parts. I would say this is also good for, let's say, weddings and things of that nature, certain events. In the summer and springtime, this would definitely serve you well because it's fresh. So, this next one. I mean, hey man, look. You already know how I feel about the brand. It's inevitable that it was going to be in here. You knew that I have the brand. You know how I feel about the brand. You know I love the brand. I love the clothes of the brand, and I've also talked to you about why you should actually look more into their fragrances as well. So I'm going to stay true to that. And how I'm going to stay true? Well, it's going to be a part of this list. And what is that? We're going to talk about Polo Green Eau de Intense. Well, actually, no, this is Eau de Parfum. So Polo Green Eau de Parfum. And this is an aromatic, fresh, spicy, nice, woody fragrance. This mug is fire. I love the bottle. The bottle especially is kind of reminiscent of the original. But you get some basil, mint, some grapefruit up in here. So my brother will never be able to get this because he's allergic. Also some clary sage, violet leaf, some thyme, some patchouli, and some vetiver. Now this mug, to be honest with you, it's a super fire fragrance, because you wasn't, like, if for anybody that actually got their nose on this, you were pleasantly surprised. It was like, I think this may have been one of the fragrances that really started to set Polo back up in the echelons of good making fragrance designer houses, because like I said, they've been kind of down in the dumps a little bit, and when you got that type of reputation, you don't get the grace. Okay, let's be honest. You're not going to get the grace that most people are looking for when it comes to this type of fragrance. But because, I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes green fragrances are pretty polarizing, especially the old one. The old Polo Green, it smelled like an old man to me. I didn't really care for it. So that was when I was younger. It really smelled like an old man. But as I got older, it just really just like, it hits different. Like FYBJ Main say, it do hit different. You know what I'm saying? It do hit different. Like, do your homework on why this mug is actually really fire. Do your homework. Alright? But I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like, it smells like mint. It's like a hint of mint. Just like a gorgeous grapefruit with a violent scent, and it just, the dry down for the embrox, and it's so well balanced. Like there's ways that you go about making a fragrance, and they did this very well. So what type of setting would I see you in this? I would say I could see you doing, like, let's say if you're going golfing. This is definitely something I could see you rocking if you go golfing. I could see you rocking this if, let's say you do other outdoor sports like, tennis or, I forgot the other. It's something sort of like tennis, but it's not tennis. I forgot the name of it, but it's a couple other things like that. This would be something that you would wear. Cricket or, well, no, not cricket. A couple other games that's not really, that doesn't really require you to burn a sweat, break a sweat. So if it doesn't really require you to break a sweat, then yeah, this is definitely going to push in that environment. I can see you really rocking this and this performing well on the green. Like, it's Polo Green and it seems like it'll perform well on the green. But outside of that, yeah, other places that, generally you'll be outside if you're at the park taking a stroll or anything like that, it'll be a great fragrance to have. This performs well in the outdoors, so I think that you will be well served in actually purchasing this. And yeah, so yeah, get this. Polo Green, Eau de Parfum. Well, then there was one. And that last one, the last one is just, it's fire. It's beyond fire. I mean, let's be honest. This one it's unisex. It's amazing. I'm almost matching with it. If you can pick up what I'm putting down, then you know that this is line number 9, Greenwich Village. Now, what do we get with the bond number 9? We got the Lishe, some Cassis Mandarin Orange, some Peony, Water Lily Jasmine, and Broxan, some Praline. I don't know why I always say praline different, but vanilla, musk, and a little bit of oak moss. And this mug is so smooth. You talking about a nice, fresh, somewhat fruity. It's definitely fruity. It's a floral fragrance, musky, sweet, very ambery, and got some good tropical / vanilla hints in there as well. So it got that good, it has a good balance. It almost kind of reminds you of Baccarat Rouge 540, but it feels like this one is a lot better to me for a man. This is like my perspective of it. Unless you're getting the Baccarat Rouge 540 extract, the red bottle, that's a little bit different. But as far as just the general, you would end up doing yourself more justice getting this fragrance because it's so balanced. It's so just, it's intoxicating. Like, I've gotten so many compliments wearing this bottle, like wearing this fragrance right here, and you can get it at discounters and everything. This mug is fire. Do you hear me? Let me explain something to you. I don't think you listening. It's that good. When you walk into a place and my boy just got married, right? I'm giving y'all a quick story time. My boy had just got married. Right before they got married, I had came in and I just sprayed myself with this right before I was about to walk in, right? So I walk around because I didn't know the entrance and stuff. So I walk around and it was like a good amount of time for me to kind of like let it settle a little bit, but I had just sprayed something on. I walk in, I literally, and I BS you not, it's probably a good 8 people in the room, 8 to 10 people. I stop all conversation because the mug said, "Oh my God, who smells like that? Who smells that good? Oh my God, is that you? What do you have on?" It was dudes and the girls. Both of them sitting up there like, "What are you wearing? You have on that fire. Like, what are you wearing?" Like, bro was like, hey, bro, I ain't even trying to be weird or nothing, bro, but like, I ain't gonna lie, you smell real good, bro. Like, I ain't smelled nobody that smelled that good. Like, you literally just came in and took over the conversation just by you walking in smelling good. That's wild. So I'm telling you that to say, even before I opened my mouth and said anything, they smelled me. And that's why I say your smell sometimes is your introduction. And this is a great introduction to make, especially in the springtime. Springtime, that performs very well. Summertime, that performs very well. In the fall, I can imagine that still performs very well, but you want to start to, edge towards other type of fragrances in the fall. That one is definitely spring and summer banger, and it is great for the outdoors. It's great for the springtime. It is great for the green time. Like, you outside in this, I'm telling you, you're going to get compliments. Went to one of my cousin's football games, just going to show some support. Shout out to him. He's at Western Michigan University. Shout out to my little cousin Mari Roberson. He's a linebacker on defense. So if y'all ever see him on TV, you know that's my family. And got a couple other cousins in there too, up in NCAA. But nevertheless, that fragrance, when I came in, I got like 5 different compliments before I even got to the concession stand. I'm telling you, this mug performs in outdoors. So, and it's funny because I had, you got on the green, I had to throw on the teal and stuff like that. It was the green. And it's not really that much of a green fragrance like the other two, but it's just called Greenwich Village. So I just wanted to make sure that I added it in there. And it is a nice, fresh type of fruity, spicy / woody, it's still got that good, nice balance and that ambery vanilla type stuff, so it's still a good ambroxan and the whole 9. So you still get a whole good balance of notes. But nevertheless, that's the whole main goal of it, is that I wanted to give you a good balance where you can actually go extremely fresh, citrusy, and more like with the kiwi notes, and then you could go into more of like the like spicy but still fresh green, but towards that. And then also with this, more like smooth debonair, more people pleaser, more general compliment getter, strong compliment getter. I'm letting you know that right now. So this is definitely, if I was to put in, I already said I wouldn't do the whole what's the name, but this will be, if you picking up what I'm putting down, it will be up there. So hey man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in for another great video of us talking about the top 3 green fragrances in my collection. And I hope that you all enjoyed your weekends. I hope that you all are being safe out here in these streets. I hope that you're living your best self and being your best self while you're out here and trying to be your best representation. I hope that you are. I pray that you are. So always love and peace with me. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the content, because remember, I need the HBO special. What is the HBO special? The Help a Brother Out special. Shout out to my guy from the Poor Man's Podcast for coming up with that, because it is very necessary that we get this ball rolling. Remember, I want to get over 500 subscribers over the next 30 days. Y'all have definitely been turning up, and I appreciate that, because I've gained probably like 20 or 30 subscribers within the last week or so. So hey, I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Just make sure that y'all keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Turn on the notification bell, and we'll keep this stuff going. Make sure y'all give me that HBO special, and hey, I appreciate y'all. Peace and love.